Hi, welcome to Part Food Hero. I'm Aaron. Today we're going to be making ham and cheese and salami smoked sliders. These are delicious, easy to make, huge crowd pleaser. People love these. They're very complex in their flavor profile, but easy to make. Ham and cheese and salami smoked sliders. Let's go check it out. And here are the ingredients you need to make these amazing smoked sliders, sandwich thingies. The nice thing about it, you don't have to use the same cheeses or meats, but the process will all be the same and it will turn out amazing. So you're gonna take your Hawaiian rolls or whatever rolls that you bought that are all connected like this, and then you're gonna cut it horizontally. Now, this is a lot easier said than done, at least to do it so it's even. Towards the end of this cut, it got real dicey, where it was not an even slice, as you'll see when I flip this over, but it doesn't matter because it ends up being delicious anyways. But yeah, that's all you gotta do. And then let's start making some butter. You're gonna take your butter and put it into a microwave safe container, and then you're going to melt it. And then we're gonna add some stuff. Ooh, look at that. Magic. Already melted. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of the parsley, put that in there, take that Worcestershire sauce, and then we are going to add in some of the, I believe salt. We're gonna put some salt, few cracks of salt, and then a few cracks of freshly cracked pepper. You don't want any of that stale pepper. I grew up on a pepper farm, some stale pepper. Then you're going to take your Dijon mustard, put in a tablespoon of that, roughly. And then you're just gonna mix it all together. And this is what's gonna kind of give your base layer of flavor on top and in the middle of it. And it just is a fantastic flavor. Not super strong with Dijon, so if you're like, oh, I don't like Dijon mustard, it's not strong with the Dijon mustard flavor. It just gives it a nice little kick. So try it out. You don't like it, don't put Dijon mustard in next time. So I like to put the bottom half, well, I'm gonna cook the whole thing in an aluminum pan, but you're gonna put the bottom half in first, and then you're just gonna coat lightly the bread with that butter mixture that you just made. You're gonna coat the whole thing, and then you're gonna start adding on the layers of meats and cheeses. And don't use all this butter because you're gonna use this to top the rolls when it is all done as well. So maybe use about a fourth of it, maybe closer to like a third, I don't know, just along those lines, just so you have enough to top it as well. Now I'm gonna lay a layer of ham down first, or whatever meat you have. We just happen to have ham and hard salami for sandwiches we made when we went to the lake, and we had a lot of extra, so that's why this is what I'm using. You can use whatever meat you want. Leftover pulled pork, chicken. I can keep naming meats. You can put it on here. It really doesn't matter. So yeah, you're gonna layer that, just a nice thin layer, I guess a single layer, not a thin layer, just a single layer of the ham. And then I'm gonna start grabbing the hard salami. Oh, I found a little spot that needed covering, so we gotta do that too. A little happy spot. Oh, 2 happy spots. And then there we go. Then I'm gonna grab the hard salami and just kind of overlap it, put that on top. And then we are going to go to the cheese portion, the cheese portion of this sandwich. So we had a nice sharp cheddar, some leftover sharp cheddar. We throw that down. So you do a layer of your sharp cheddar or whatever cheese you want to use. I like a good melty cheese too. So we have sharp cheddar, and then we had some Havarti. So sharp cheddar for delicious flavor, and it melts okay. And then Havarti just melts so well, and it's also delicious. So great combo. You could use any cheese. I'm not going to start naming cheeses you could use. You could use any cheese you want. There's literally not a law on the books about what type of cheese you can use in this. So whatever cheese you want to use, throw in there as well. But I suggest a good melty cheese, just for the fact that I like melted cheese. And you do too. So just do a nice melty cheese. So you can do that. And then when you're done with that, you're going to throw on the top of this. And now we're going to use that butter that we still have left over because you didn't use it all, right? And we're going to top this with some more butter. Now you can get kind of crazy with this. I use the rest of this butter because I'm not going to waste that butter. So you're going to top this whole thing with the rest of the butter as evenly as possible. I even do kind of the edges as well as I'm doing this as best I can. And then we're going to add on some of those dried onion flakes or dried onion, whatever they're called, dried onions, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So now that we have that slathered in that delicious butter, here we go. We're putting on those dried onion flake thingies. And what this does, it just really gives a great texture, a little bite of onion as well. When you're cooking these and when you're eating them, it's just great. You just kind of bite into this little onion crisp, and it's delicious. And it looks nice. And it tastes great on a cracker. So you just top that as much as you want or as little as you want, or don't put it on at all. But I highly suggest that you do put it on because it does make a giant difference in flavor and in texture. Now I'm going to put these on the smoker for 20 minutes. We're looking for these to kind of toast up on the outside and melt on the inside. So this is what it's going to look like before. Look at all that delicious butter and herbs. And after. Nice and toasty on top, melty in the middle, delicious all around. Now this part's an optional step, but do it anyways because butter makes everything better. I just melted a little more butter. And then I'm going to top the sandwiches, the sliders, with this butter. And then I'm going to sprinkle on just a little bit of parsley after for mainly the butter is for flavor because butter's delicious. And then the extra parsley is just for aesthetically pleasing looking. You have a little more bright green in there as opposed to just kind of dark colors on top. So it just looks a little prettier. And that's all you got to do. Now this is not required, and the parsley really doesn't make a giant difference in flavor at the end, but again, a little bit of flavor. It's not a deal breaker, but just for making it a little prettier. That's why I did it. Now you're going to cut these into handheld slider size sandwiches. And you're going to want to do this as close as you can to when you're going to serve these. You want to serve these right away because you see that melty cheese in the middle? Oh my gosh, this is so good. You want these served warm and melty and gooey in the middle. That's the best way to eat these, the best way to serve them. So just try and time it that way. You can always, if you need to, just heat them up in the oven before you serve them, and they just end up being so good. Just like, it's crazy how delicious those things are. Just such a simple concept and so good. Yes, I did have to take a bite, and yes, I did go, wow, that's really good. I'm going to eat more of these. Oh my gosh, let's do some close-ups of these. All right, now for my favorite part of the video, I get to eat the food. Now, these were very easy to make. It took not that long. The nice thing about this too is it's a lot of leftover food. So I had a bunch of ham and salami left over from a trip that we went on recently, and so that's what I used. But if you have any meat you could use on this, you could turn this into like almost like a pizza one. So you'd put on, if you had like some salami and pepperoni and some mozzarella, do more of a pepperoni type butter mixture and then dip it in like marinara sauce. That would also be delicious. I might make a video about that because just thinking about that, saying that out loud, sounds really good. So yeah, that's what's nice about this. So it just, like I said, a lot of stuff that you already have probably in your kitchen. At our house, we always have Hawaiian rolls because my kids love them. So that might not be super typical at somebody's house, but anyways, I want to eat it because I'm really hungry. Let's do this. You can see how cheesy that is. It's just melting down right there. Let's take a bite. It's something so simple, yet so delicious. So, keep saying so, sorry. Anyways, the first thing you get is that butter mixture with the Dijon mustard and the spices and the different herbs we put in there. It's so good. It's so good. Everyone loves sandwiches. So you get that. It's a little crunchy on the outside, or a little crispy from the baking or the smoking. You could do this in an oven just as easily as a smoker. It's nice because the smoker obviously gives it a little extra smokiness flavor, which is great as well. So you get that. You get the cheesiness. You get the warm ham and salami, and it's soft on the inside. The bun is soft. And then you get the little crunches of the dried onion that's on top. And I love that. I think it's great. If you don't like dried onion, don't put it on. But you just get these little bursts of it's not an intense flavor, but it's just a nice little contrast to everything else that you're eating. It's really, really good. The cool thing about this is you could make a bunch of these at once for a party. So you could do, what do we make, 12? You could easily do 48, multiples of 12, whatever. It's been a while since I had to do math. You could make a lot of these really quickly, all at the same time, just ready for a party that you're gonna throw. These are best served just right out of the gate, but you could pre-make them and then bake them and then give them out. But I would just definitely want to serve these warm and hot. You could maybe have some dipping sauces you put with this. I love dipping sauces. So maybe a honey mustard, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. But there's some dipping sauces you could definitely incorporate with these as well that would make it absolutely delicious. Make this, it's great. Use different types of leftovers. If you have like pulled pork, you can make these amazing pulled pork sliders with this. It's just a really easy way to make a lot of delicious sliders. So check it out. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are putting videos out. We're trying to do it every single week. So check out the other videos. We have a bunch of other ones. Go to partyfoodhero.com for all the recipes. I made that website super easy, super straightforward, because recipe websites are the worst. So mine is just straight there. You don't have to hit a jump to recipe button. The recipe is just right there. Yeah, so go check that out. A bunch of other recipes, some of them that aren't even on this YouTube channel. So check those out, and follow us on Instagram at partyfoodhero. But yeah, there you go. Make these. I am going to finish the rest of them because they are absolutely delicious and I am very hungry. And remember, be Party Food Hero. Not kidding you. These are just, get that gooey cheese in there. God, these are so good. These are so good.
Be the Party Food Hero.